With the UK budget announcement now over and done with, it's questionable whether a £40 billion fiscal black hole is fair. Joining me now to discuss this is global strategist and chief economist at ADM Services International, Marc Ostwald. So, Mark, I just want to ask you, what do you make of the UK budget announcement? Do you think the numbers add up?
It's definitely, stretching very far out in terms of the extra debt that it's managing. And the question is, will the extra debt actually improve investment given the overall parameters? And what I didn't really see in there was a lot of incentives. Government money, basically, like development bank money, should be basically the seed fund to spur private investment. And again, I don't really see this. What you've got is an inherent conflict, and one can probably just put to one side what's in the budget in terms of what's in the OBR's assessment of where UK growth will go given this budget. Um, it's this inherent conflict between raising the minimum wage. I'm not saying that it's not justified to raise the minimum wage given the rise in living costs, but when you're raising the minimum wage, increasing national insurance contributions from employers, but on the scale that they have, and at the same time also reducing some of the subsidies that have been in place for business rates, which in the UK are penal and are a very hefty bar for a lot of people, for a lot of companies to actually keep going. They are very, very high. And that, yes, Ms. Reeves has said there's going to be some fundamental reforms. Again, one needs more detail. I quite understand, obviously, that they've had relatively little time to prepare, particularly given the shock of finding this a public sector hole. So you've got those three things, particularly the national insurance contribution increase and the rise in minimum wages really hits small companies. Now, in any economy, anywhere around the world, it's always small companies, unless you're in a command type control. But in a democracy, it's small companies which do a lot of the legwork in terms of employment creation. So, on the one hand, they're saying they want people to, invest more, hire more people, do more training. And on the other hand, they're basically just increasing all those costs related to that. So this is fundamentally where I think the budget falls down. Also within it, this is smaller, but one always has to be very, very wary when a government comes in and saying one of the ways which we're going to actually um, improve the budget balance is by improving tax collection. Historically, any country you care to think of, it doesn't matter you, this is not specific to the UK at all. This generally always never actually raises the sort of amount of revenues that it's said it's going to do.